This is your announcer, Shannon Saint Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. The flesh is the key to the gate that binds all timelines. The blade sinks in, creating the bridge. As the blood flows, all time stops. The end of life and worlds. Oh sorry, that was for my Satan Worship podcast. Mix up my notes. Totally unrelated, episode 666 of our IP Livecast starts now.
Ooh, extra satanic today. Welcome to RIP Livecast. It is April 9th, 2022, and it is a pleasure to be with you today. We have a very special guest sitting in with us, coming back on the show.
What's up, yo?
All the way from the Midwest. We got our buddy Sean.
This is true.
The Central Time Zone.
That's right. I do have to say before you jump in that bland thing at the beginning sounded even better because it sounded like she said the IKEA podcast or IKEA livecast instead of RIP livecast.
I noticed that a couple of weeks ago too.
That's not a bad idea. Maybe we could steal some IKEA fans. They have a very loyal fan base. We could siphon some of that off.
Fans schmans. Let's get some IKEA money. That's what I'm wanting.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah, let's get some IKEA beds in here.
Rob wants some IKEA meatballs. That's all Rob cares about.
You take the beds, I'll take the Venmo. Money.
And rape.
Oh. It's always a good excuse to break out some of these drops.
Mm-hmm. True.
One drop.
And also on the show, we of course have Sid, who's here with
Hello.
us this week, and Darren.
Hi.
And I'm Rob, and we're live every Saturday at around noon-ish Eastern to around 1:30 p.m. Eastern. So hope you could join us live. And if you are listening live, the phone lines are open, baby. Give us a ring-a-ding-ding. 213 wide nut 213-943-3688. You could watch us on Twitch, on YouTube. We're live now with the video, baby. How do you like it in our new setup, Sean?
This is cute. I like it. It looks all nice too. You got a background. You got the big red names. It's nice. I like it.
We have a little ticker.
Whoa!
Yeah, we got a ticker
Breaking
going,
news.
Too.
Follow our.
Can you edit the ticker in real time, Rob, to like say mean things about Sean if you felt like it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please do.
I don't want you to be too distracted, but I was just curious if that was an option. Hey, so Sean is stupid.
Just stating facts, man.
Can you edit it to say mean things about Chicago pizza? Just really put salt in the wound here.
I feel like the show's backlogs has enough of that.
Isn't that what Chicago pizza tastes like? Like a wound with salt in it?
Yes, it looks like it too.
It's just
Only one thing, Sid. It doesn't have enough salt because it's Midwestern.
Right.
More like just a wound.
Not bad.
He won't even fight back because he knows it's true.
I know. Well, but I also think the best Chicago pizza is the thin crust tavern cut, not the big deep dish casserole bullshit. But yeah,
there's been some groundswell of that statement in our Discord.
Oh, really?
And I thin crust is great. I will not argue that. I've never had the Chicago version, but I'm sure it's better than deep dish because what isn't?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am on record many times, but I'll say it again every time this comes up. I'm not a detractor of Chicago food. Some of the things that Chicago does are the best in the world that crush New York. Examples of the same type of food, like, for example, hot dogs.
Yep.
Chicago hot dogs blow New York hot dogs out of the water. I love Chicago, the town. I've been there twice. I had a great time both times. I just think the pizza is abominable. That's it. It's a pizza thing. It's not a Chicago thing.
I
agree. It's its own thing. It's not. I'm not looking for New York. It's the most tolerable, not New York pizza. That's all I'll say.
Wow.
Because it's at least something.
Sid, you're breaking. Rob, you're breaking camp here.
Yeah,
I've always been on the positive / neutral end of deep dish pizza. I think it's fine. I like it. I like the baked crust. Isn't that nice?
The butter crust is nice, but no, but I wasn't
Butter
raised-
crust.
Yeah.
That's what I call
was-
Rob when we take naps together.
Oh, it's just the drool bonds with the other drool. Is that what
Little butter
happens?
crust.
Oh, that's just what you say to him when you're caressing him.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, butter
Little
crust.
pet name.
I thought an actual buttery crust was forming on the flesh somewhere.
Well, that's from something. We're not napping when that's happening.
Yeah, that's not on my face. That's on my crotch.
Yeah.
I will fuck your butter crust.
That's just week old flop sweat, I think. But,
Episode title.
but no, I wasn't raised on the deep dish because it's fucking expensive. So we only got like the thin crust cut into squares, that kind of vibe. And that's my favorite, hands down.
Also, deep dish, I feel it's a commitment. Like it is heavy.
Right.
It's all butter. It's all fucking tomatoes. You're gonna have acid reflux. You're gonna have a massive food coma. It's like humans, and it's dairy, tomato, and butter.
Yeah,
it's just your stomach is gonna be very upset.
Is there vegan deep dish pizza?
I'm sure. Why wouldn't there be?
I don't know.
Why? Sorry.
Why do you want it?
Just because it wouldn't be dairy.
It's true. I love that one joint's gluten-free option is just a big disc of sausage with cheese and tomatoes on top.
I once knew someone who was working as a waitress, and she told me a story about a woman ordered that she goes, "I'd like a chef salad, please. No ham, no cheese, no salami, no capers, no olives." And it was like, it turned out to be like lettuce and tomato.
Yeah.
What are you offering a chef salad for?
I'd like the rabbit dish is what I'm
Hey, that's fine. You want to eat that? Just order that.
Good. I get so hard on people.
Also, I have a question for Sid and Darren here. Earlier this week we posted a video on our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram.
Parlor.
We were at Ellen. We're not on Parlor. we were at Ellen B. Spumoni Gardens, and we were having some dessert. But the main draw at Ellen B. Spumoni Gardens would be, I feel, an equivalent or something close to what would be a Chicago deep dish pizza. What is the real difference between?
If you picked up a slice of Chicago deep dish, it would fall immediately to the floor in a puddle.
That's not
if
true.
you picked up an L&B slice, it would stay on your hand sturdy.
But I mean, it's the same kind of ratio of bread, tomato, and cheese. I feel
no, it's not.
It's a deep dish.
No,
that is
it's
a
not.
deep dish
because
square.
it's mostly the bread.
Go ahead. Sorry, you guys debate it, please.
Go ahead.
I fall somewhere between Rob and Sid on this. I don't think that L&B is equivalent to deep dish pizza.
No, I wouldn't say equivalent. I would say, but like in the same family.
What I would say is I do not like L&B square slices. I'm not.
Oh my God!
I do not like. I don't like. Well, it's not that they do it badly. It's that I don't like square slices because, as Rob said, I feel like it's in the family of deep dish pizza.
Okay, so Darren is consistent at least.
Yeah, I don't like, but I don't. I just go ahead.
But I have to say, Darren, I've lost a bit of respect for you.
I do. Well, I do like. Remember I don't know if any of you remember this. They used to make in New York City square slices that approximated like the round pies. And
like an Elio's, basically.
Yeah, like an Elio's, but a higher quality version of Elio's.
Well, they say. I mean, they still do. That's a Sicilian square.
I never see it anyway. So L&B's is not Sicilian. The square slices.
That's more of a grandma slice.
I guess.
I guess grandma's like thin.
Just getting confused.
But no, I see. There's pizzerias in my neighborhood that still do the Sicilians.
Yeah, but aren't those all like thick bread? Like
it's a ton of bread.
Deep dish is very thin bread.
Yeah, that's why it's floppity, and you can't really pick it up.
Yeah, but if you go to like a Lou Malnati's, they do the big disc of sausage. If you go to a place that has like crumbled sausage, it'll fall apart. But with the disc of sausage, that holds you into a triangle.
Now hold on. Now, when you say a disc of sausage, do you mean they literally shape the sausage meat into a disc the size of the pie?
Yep, and flop it in, and then put all
Oof.
the toppings on top.
Oh boy!
Yep.
And the dairy, tomato, cheese, and sausage. Definitely need a little pork fat in there on top of all the fucking.
Think of the city you're talking about, man. This is all it is sausages.
It's cholesterol city over here.
Yeah, the running gag is that we all are gonna have heart attacks.
How's your heart doing, Sean? Got any hypertension?
I am on blood pressure pills, so that's great.
Oh, me too. All right, late 30s, baby.
Hey,
Sid,
yeah.
how about you?
What?
Heart medicine?
Well, cholesterol for me. I'm on
Oh,
that
wow.
Lipitor life.
Damn.
Ooh.
I'm the oldest one here. I'm not on any fucking medication. What's going on?
That's on you.
Yeah.
Maybe you need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
check
saying
that
I
out.
should be, and I'm just not getting.
Yeah.
it
How's your
prescribed?
blood
Yeah.
pressure?
Like normal. I had a slightly.
Is
high
it normal?
No,
It's
It
probably
was
gonna go up from Rob fucking shouting at you now.
Yeah, that's probably. I just
Why didn't you
spiked.
get it checked out?
Hold on, I'm gonna log off and go to the doctor now. No, my cholesterol was a little high, but my blood pressure was actually low last time I went.
See,
Nice.
that
I
means
put
you
on a
just
little
haven't.
weight. I think. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I just said that means you haven't lived, man. If you're not having heart issues and cholesterol now,
You're probably
you
right.
didn't. Yeah, you didn't enjoy life the way that we did.
I go to like a fancier doctor, so everything's like charted on like it's
Fancier
on an app
than
and
who?
every
What are you trying to say, Rob?
like not a traditional doctor in the sense of everything's on paper, everything is digital.
What?
Like when I go into the office, it's actually a little creepy. There's a giant screen
Mhm.
there with like all my charts, and it's a touch screen. So as the doctor's talking to me, they're pulling up charts. But then also as we're talking, the screen is taking notes as opposed to the doctor taking the notes herself. The screen hears me, and like it's really invasive in a sense. But I mean, I can hear it.
It's like you're at a sporting event. They have like Rob's schlong on a drum.
Yeah. No, it's just graphs and charts.
Get Statcast data on Rob's fucking colon.
After they look inside your schwanz, do they do the 3 balls under the hat routine where you have to pick out where the ball is?
They have not
It's a
looked
jumbo
inside my
shot.
schwanz. No schwanz. No schwanz.
I don't
There's
know
none
if
of those
you-
weird
Yeah.
cameras that go in my body. That's a different office.
Sean, I don't know if you know this story I've told on the air, but I had a penis inside my a camera inside my penis.
Where's this going?
They offered me the penis inside too, but they could have put the camera on the end of the penis. I declined that. But you said, I haven't lived.
I was going to say, wait, are you talking about docking? But then I remember you had the adult circumcision, so that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, this was pre-prep for my adult circumcision. They were looking.
Yeah.
I had blood in my pee in my blood. Like I'm getting
Blood in your pee.
I did. I had blood in my pee, and they said, if this doesn't go away, we got to go inside and look at where this blood's coming from. So they put a camera in the pee hole and just jam it right in.
Yeah, I still shiver anytime my dad, when he, like back in Vietnam when he was in the army, then the STD tests, they jammed a Q-tip up your dick hole, swirled around, pulled it out, and then got a test.
A Q-tip seems like bearable at least. I don't know.
He said it was not
Your
bearable.
part is that then the nurse licks it.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
Why
like
do you have to do that?
I don't want anything up my pee hole. But if it's like a camera or a Q-tip, I'll take the Q-tip.
But the camera was tiny. It was like smaller than a
Q-tip.
Yeah, it was like a little.
Did you feel
wire too? I felt it going in. Once it was in the penis, it was there for like probably 3 or 4 minutes, and I didn't feel anything. And then when they yoinked it out, it hurt like a bitch for like 6 seconds each way.
Was there
Were you?
Was there pre-cum? No, I couldn't be less turned on. It was probably like the least turned on 10 minutes I've been in my entire life.
Was there blood?
Oh, good. Sorry.
In fact, I feel like the doctor was trying to stiffen me up, like to give me a little, so that it's a straight like thing, and you got to get it into a soft penis.
So what was he? Was he working the back door or something? No,
I don't. I recognize that was poorly phrased. I don't mean he was trying to arouse me sexually. I mean he was like taking my penis and straightening it out with his hand.
Were you laying down? Or were you like standing up with your? Were you laying down?
I was sitting. I was sitting on one of those like those benches with the with the paper on it, but I leaned back at a 45-degree angle, so like I was kind
So
of
you're like leaning on your elbows, kind of.
yeah,
Leaning
something
back
like
on your
that.
elbows?
Something like that. I don't exactly remember, but this
Did
is
you
And
arch-
you're looking at him fondle your penis.
he wasn't fondling it. I think that'd be generous. It wasn't
Handle?
like, he was
Handle
very
it.
professional. He was an Orthodox Jew. He was very conservative and like, he very clinical in the way he touched my penis.
We
At
got
any time,
a Twitch comment wanting to know if the doctor had a fluffer.
He had a pretty attractive nurse, I would say, but she wasn't in the room at the time he was doing this.
That's just for him.
He called her
doesn't
in.
care.
He called her in once the camera was inserted, and it was so mortifying. I was like,
Hey, Susan, take a look at this.
Well, that's basically what he did. I don't know if her name was Susan, but that's basically he's like, look at this. They had a camera with 4 views, and like I guess it was like a rotating camera. And there was like 4 views inside my cock, and like he's like, oh look, I think there's a rash on his prostate. I was like, oh my god, is that? He's like, no, that's great. That's like a very benign reason why you'd be bleeding.
it got all the way in there to the prostate.
That's what he told me. I'm just repeating back what the man told me. They
it's
discovered.
not that far. They're
Yeah,
all
but
right
every time-
there. It's all right
Yeah,
there.
but anytime they'd always go in the ass to check the prostate when I would go in.
Well, I guess going in the ass is like the less invasive way, but this was like they had to go in through the penis because that's the more likely cause of where you could be bleeding.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I guess they didn't
do they
know it was
ever like at Rob's fancy doctor? Maybe they go in through the front and the back, and then the cameras
just a-
do docking.
so like, well, yep,
it's just
The kiss
primary
in the middle?
care. It's a
This is-
primary care doctor with a fancy screen. That's all.
This is
What's
I
more
do-
primary than cameras going in both your holes?
The most invasive is they've taken blood from my arm. That's it. That's the only
Yeah,
part of my body.
But I
a new
also-
channel
I
on
also wanna-
Pornhub.
I also want to say, if you close your eyes while Rob described the doctor, it was the most boomer statement that I've ever heard. About this, oh, there's screens everywhere.
They're so fancy.
Start writing notes on paper.
Yeah, it's like, who are you? What kind of doctor are
I think they had the Hulu on there. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
The stairs moved. You just stood on them, and the stairs went up.
But yeah, they go inside the penis, and that's how they do COVID tests nowadays, right, guys? Like that's,
Inside the penis?
In the
yeah,
dick?
yeah.
Yeah.
I got swabbed many times in my penis. That's not normal.
No.
At any time when you were getting camera down, did you arch your back at all?
Tried to do like a playgirl pose, but it wasn't working. No, I honestly I
Shoes on
felt
or off?
off. I was like,
Oh.
yeah, I had a gown. I had like one of those gowns, but I felt like I did feel at some point during this process while he was trying to insert, like he didn't immediately insert, like he was, like I said, he was trying to straighten out my flaccid penis.
Mhm.
And so there was like figuring out how to do it to his credit to not hurt me as much as possible.
Mhm.
And then like the whole time I was kind of thinking like a boner would help this, you know? So I was like, for a second I was like, maybe I should try to get aroused, and I was like, that's just stupid.
Was there any
Hmm.
conversation going on while this was happening? Was he like making small talk while he was
This
manipulating your cock?
to be fair, this is like almost 20 years ago. This was
okay.
2004.
Mm.
But what I remember, I sort of
Like, what do you
remember
think of
him-
that Ross and Rachel? Huh? Think they're gonna figure it out, those two?
I can't believe he said these motherfucking snakes are on this motherfucking plane. It's crazy. No. As I remember, he was like talking to himself. Like he was like,
no.
"Oh, we gotta get like not a crazy way. Like, let's if I do this." And it was sort of like an amateur trying to fix a carburetor or something.
Oh no!
Like just talk,
Right.
but not addressing me. Like he was like, "Okay, if I do that, you know that
Like,
kind
hey
of
Doc, my eyes are up here.
yeah."
Yeah.
So now I
So
want to
you-
ask, you said it would be a bad idea to get a boner, but let's say it were you actually went the other way and thought it would be a good idea. How in that moment would you try to get it up? Like how like you have an unattractive Orthodox Jew doctor fondling
Mildly
your
attractive.
pee-pee. Oh, mildly attractive. Okay, here we go.
Not my
Mildly
type.
attractive or not your type though. So that's what I'm saying. Like I'm assuming you'd have to close your eyes. What would you be thinking about?
It's so hard to answer that question because it's like
Not hard
this
enough.
this is right. This is the like least. I don't know if I could even get it up in that situation. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just very hard when this is happening, and it's like the biggest turnoff possible, other than holodiets.
I mean, you'd have to really meditate and like focus and you know,
right.
you have to zone out the entire world to be focused enough to get turned on.
And by the time I did that, he'd probably have the thing jammed in anyway.
Yeah, but some of
Oh
those.
man, what if you got the boner after it was already jammed in? like
Oh,
Like, but if I
better
just
or worse?
discovered in that moment that I
That's your
enjoyed this,
kink?
yeah, how would
Like,
I know that?
Suddenly you're into sounding.
Wait,
Sound
is that sticking the metal rod in the
tuning
in the,
fork,
the
yeah.
boner?
And then
Yes,
you
okay.
strike it and it makes a vibration.
You do not I don't know about the striking.
That's why
That's how Darren does it, Rob. Don't fucking judge him.
No, that's what it is. That's why it's called sounding. It's you put it to like the equivalent of a tuning fork in there, and then you hit it with a mallet, and then ding.
I thought it's because your partner's supposed to read chapters of the book Sounder while you're doing it. No?
It's because
nobody else read that.
it's because you
I
do
know,
it
I
in
did-
Long
I did-
Island Sound.
You're on a boat.
Did you guys ever read the book?
Okay, so I am on WebMD,
Oh boy, that always goes well.
and what to know about urethral sounding. The pursuit of sexual satisfaction has led
Why
to
is
an emerging
WebMD
practice
covering this topic?
because
you can measure yourself.
Responsible.
Stick to medicine.
Listen, Sid, who uses WebMD other than people doing irresponsible things and they're freaking out?
All
about
right,
it?
that's fair.
Yes.
I thought, I guess now that Yahoo Answers has been discontinued,
I
Quora.
miss
Quora.
Ask Jeeves. Ask Jeeves was my jam.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah,
Ask Jeeves.
Oh, ask! I swear to God, I thought you said ass jeans.
Those
Ask
are all.
Jeeves.
Those are
That's
also my
true.
jam.
It's Jeeves with some back, baby.
I was like, that's very
Jeeves
interesting,
doing
but you're really
squats is
shifting
Ask
gears here.
Jeeves.
There was an after dark side of Ask Jeeves that I really appreciated in college. If you asked the right questions, you could figure out how to fist someone and all this kind of craziness.
Wasn't
We all-
Ask Jeeves just a search engine? Like,
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
never
like,
used it. It was just someone you could chat with.
no, I mean, it gave like its own kind of response, and then they had like, didn't it? I had like its own response, and then the search engine below.
they had like a gimmick where a butler would answer you, and his name
Yeah,
was
right,
Jeeves.
right.
Here are your links, sir, or whatever. But if anyone here is under 45, Ask Jeeves was a website like it was like an alternative. It was before Google, I think. It was like
Yeah.
a alternative to Internet Explorer, and it was just like you would search something, but the gimmick was like there was a butler that would answer your questions. But
You
it was
could
just
actually ask it questions. You didn't just. It's
Right.
not just a search. You could actually ask, and they
Oh.
would give you an answer.
But
Did
wasn't
it go out
the
of business?
answer?
Did it get bought out? What happened? Rob? What happened to Ask Jeeves? What became?
They got bought by IAC, Barry Diller's company, and then he basically shut it down.
But wasn't the questions you asked it? Didn't the answers just come from Googling, like searching or whatever?
Yeah, but I think it had.
Yeah, it'd
an
be like from the
algorithm
top
that-
result.
Yeah, but it would phrase it as like an answer, but you could
Yeah.
click in and read more, kind of thing.
So it was like
Yeah, at
Google,
the
Google
time,
plus
it was-
Siri.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Kinda, yeah, right.
It was ahead of its time for sure. So back to the urethral sounding. The practice involves inserting a glass or metal object or fluid into the urethra. The aim is to enhance sexual pleasure by encouraging your partner to explore your penis in several ways. But health specialists have seen an increase in cases of urethral infection, complaints, and sexual function issues as the practice becomes mainstream.
It's wait. When did the practice become mainstream? I missed that. I don't.
I just
get
they
it.
did a lovely piece on it on CNBC the other day. It was really good.
I guess it's
Yeah, no,
I think they mean as it becomes more prevalent. It's not necessarily mainstream.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Something
think it's-
dreaming about it.
TikTok is really pushing it. Really pushing it.
Yeah, urethral TikTok is all over this. How does urethral sounding work? So here, Darren, is where I question where you got your information. Medically, urethral sounding refers to inserting an object into the urethra for urological surgery. The process helps to dilate the strictures to provide access to the bladder. Medical experts use sterile metal or plastic dilators in the process. Usually, the procedure helps in removing a retained foreign body within the urethra and bladder. Beyond the scope of medical practice, urethral sounding is common among individuals for a variety of reasons. It encompasses a sexual habit to heighten sexual pleasure and arousal. According to medical literature, there's a high risk of injury associated with the practice. The sounding device can disappear deep into the urethra and no longer be retrieved by the user.
Oh.
Rob, is that how your butt bump actually happened?
Oh,
Just a broken off sounding.
yeah.
piece
So there's
that
no
plugged
mention
in.
of like of the. I think you made that up, Darren, or someone.
I didn't
lied to
make
you.
it up. I
I've
definitely heard this on
I've
this
never
show.
ever heard that.
It might have been a
I've
joke or
never-
like a riff we went on that
Maybe.
you just sort of
That's
conflated.
possible.
It's very
This show's been on for almost
Yeah.
14 years,
Yeah,
so I may
yeah.
have remember. I just looked it up, and actually, to add to what you said, Rob, the instrument they use to stick in your pee-pee hole is called a sound, and that's where the name
Yeah.
comes
Weird.
from.
Oh.
By the way, before I forget, I'd like to get it out of the way right now. This week, RIP stands for really infected penis.
Oh, there you go.
Done and done. I forgot last week, and I wanted
Perfect.
to make sure.
Have you guys ever read the book Haunted by Chuck Palahniuk?
Yes.
You know, when the guy did this, he broke off a piece of wax that was running down a candle and stuck it in his pee hole, and then the heat of his body melted the wax in his pee hole. Remember that? It was gnarly.
What was the story of that one? What was the?
That was the
that
guy
one?
who got his butthole sucked out from the bottom of the
It
pool.
was like a writer's retreat,
Oh, so I
and
did
they all
read
tell
that.
fucked up
How do I-
stories.
how do I not
Yeah.
remember this?
That's
Sean-
the butthole pool thing is what I remember from that one.
Yeah, the butthole pool one is like that's haunted my nightmares
Yes.
forever.
Mhm.
Sean,
Yeah.
I'm never going to read that book. So would you mind reading it to me slowly by candlelight? I'd appreciate that because I don't really
Yes.
want to read it.
I would like to ASMR it for you.
That'd be great. I mean, no. I mean, yeah, sure. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Fine. It's going to be up on my OnlyFans, so check it out.
OnlyFans.com/Spleen Latifah.
That's right.
I'll save the
Gotta
mouth
get
later.
Gotta have a side hustle.
Just get on our Patreon. We could host that for you.
Oh, good. All right, that's fine. You'll
Maybe
pay
it's
me.
just there for tax purposes.
Sean, I know you don't like to give away free content, but can I tease what you're releasing next weekend? Is that okay? I have a clip
Please.
here.
God, I would fuck Kathy Bates so hard.
By the way,
True?
it's not Kathy Bates on there. I just don't want to mislead anybody. It's just him talking about how he would fuck you for half an
But-
hour.
As ASMR.
Yeah.
Help you get to bed.
That mic you have is great, by the way. It's just
Yes.
very immersive.
Thank you.
So would you
Uh,
still fuck Kathy Bates so hard?
I believe I think that was in context of nude Kathy Bates from About Schmidt, right?
Possibly.
Yeah.
She
If it was
was
that era,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry. No,
No,
the
it was
floor
that-
is yours.
was it that one?
Or it might have just been like us talking about what's the weirdest celebrity we'd be willing to have sex with. I don't know.
Either way, still would smash.
I think. Yeah, I mean, she's an older lady now. I feel like,
Mhm.
but when she was in her prime, I didn't think she was unattractive. She was
No.
thick, but she was
Mhm.
perfectly.
73 years old.
Ooh. I think the only old actress I'd still hook up with is Helen Mirren. for
Helen
sure.
Mirren.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she's
looks good.
fancy.
Mhm.
Young Kathy Bates doesn't look bad.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say she's like a supermodel, but she's attractive, like facially, and she's playing like frumpy woman in Misery. That's not fair.
yeah, right.
But she's got a charm to her. Like she's a very good actress, and she's she has like a magnetic on-screen persona. Like I do find her sexy, like her young Kathy Bates.
And you know she knows how to fuck.
Oh God, yeah. She's got that
break-
intensity for a reason.
Mhm.
She'll break that sound right off in you.
I did want to show this. Here's my doctor with the screen, just to give you the proper visual.
That's your actual doctor?
That's not my actual doctor. But
Is
like,
this your
look,
actual
this is what a
Is that
session
Aziz
is like.
Ansari?
Oh, don't be racist.
What do you mean? It looks exactly like him.
It does
like
not
if
look
he
exactly
shaved.
like him.
He's like 8 shades lighter than Aziz Ansari.
Oh,
Yeah, come on, dude. Come on, buddy.
I don't see color.
So it's like going,
That's the problem.
yeah. So it's like going to the doctor on a spaceship, right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Is that like the Ethereum price that they're discussing there? What the fuck is going on there?
Oh yeah, as
Oh,
you do
no.
your checkup, you could check all the crypto prices in real time. It's really nice.
Rob, he needed to insert a sound into your penis so to get you hard. He showed you your cryptocurrency going up.
Well, the sounding device actually has Wi-Fi in it, so it's a smart sound.
Wow.
So it gives you all this information about your penis
Oh.
while it's inside you.
I wish I had that in 2004. That would have been great. I had to do it manually. This guy jamming a fucking thing in my pee hole.
The cool thing about this new place is that female patients are offered the opportunity to have their pap smears turned into an NFT. Put it right on the market.
Bored ape vagina.
That's somebody's nickname.
It will be if it's not yet. Should be on Death or No Death.
Rob, get Noah on the phone so I could say that that's her nickname.
And she's a bored op. We're gonna have a bored ape. It's perfect.
You buy any NFTs, Sean? You getting into that yet?
No, man. It's a fucking scam. Are you kidding me? This is just for money laundering. That's all it's for.
I just think it's so cringe that like I'm okay with, like, to me it's no different than the stock market or regular cryptocurrency, whatever, which are all scams. But I could, those are both scams I can buy into, and I feel like navigate fairly efficiently. But just to have a fucking cartoon character and parade it around, it's just not that it's not that it's somehow financially weird to me. It's just that it's so cringe to be all excited about this. That's what bugs me about it.
Well, I guess with the Bored Yacht Club, with those apes, you're not just buying the image. It comes with like access to parties and stuff. So it's not just, there is something tangible that comes, as stupid as it is. I'm not defending.
That makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah. Like there are NFTs where I see value in it. They're overpriced and it's both, like, I'm with you, but like I want to say like 90% of them are bullshit, but I see the future in it. You know, like I see how it could be used legitimately. Another thing I think NFTs could be used for is for like concert tickets. It would be easier to resell stuff on the blockchain, and then, like, you know, right now with concert tickets, with what are those guys called? That
scalpers.
But scalpers. Thank you. Oh my god, just my brain shut off for a second. With scalpers,
ticket brokers, Rob.
With third party, thank you. Third party ticket brokers. The thing is, they buy the ticket at face value, and then when they resell it, they keep all the profit. But if you do it on the blockchain, it's the ticket. You know, there's a full record of the ticket, and so even when you resell, the artist can still get a cut of that resale. So it works out better for everyone, but the person buying.
Another thing you can use NFTs
but I guess
for,
but actually for the person buying, how it actually works is it is authenticated. You know, it's the real thing. Go ahead, Darren.
Another thing you can use NFTs for as your flair on the sounding subreddit. It's perfect.
True.
Just have a little ape getting sounded.
Just right in there.
Well, thanks for the demonstration.
Yeah.
Do that again slowly.
Ask Sid, what does NFT stand for?
Not for this guy. I added a G. The G is free. I don't know.
Is it non-fungible token? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, I don't know a lot about this, but what's all the hoopla around the environment, around like Bitcoin and NFTs and shit?
Well, to create the Bitcoin, it takes an awful lot of computing power, like exponentially more and more computing power to mine each new coin. So the more they mine, the more power it's using, and it's like using more power than like some small countries now. So and it's going to get worse.
So
yeah, and the kind of the argument is essentially like, well, you know, with computers, they take up power, but at least someone is using the computer. Someone is getting this. It's just the computers. Their only use is to generate profit. So you're ruining the earth just to generate profit.
But some of the coins are more responsible, and they're like trying to find ways to do this without that.
Isn't ruining the earth for profit just kind of mankind in general?
Yeah, but this is just a very aggro way of speeding up the environmental damage that we're doing. Yeah. It is bad, but I mean, like you said, there's a lot of things that are bad, and you know, what are you going to do? It's not going to prevent me from buying Bitcoin or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like the bell has already been rung. You got, you know, it's get it while you can get it. Get it
done. You got to, I mean, whatever I can do, like I'll be happy to do, but the things that I don't control, like you got to live. You know what I mean? It's like having a 401k. even though the stock market is based on like ripping off poor people. Like me putting my X amount of thousands of dollars in there is not gonna help change anything, or not putting it in. You know what I mean?
Well, it's going to change it for you, but not so much everyone else.
Right. Okay. Well, that's my
Yeah.
point. Like, it's not
Yeah,
going
yeah,
to
I agree with
heal
you.
the process. I'm behind anything that actually overhauls the overarching system.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Speaking of the system, let's talk about our favorite rock and roll musician, Kid Rock.
Oh, boy.
Really?
Apparently, Kid Rock is out on the road. And a few weeks ago, we actually talked about this, how he bragged about low ticket prices. And we checked, and to be fair, he does have low ticket prices. The cheapest, the entry point is $25. I think that's for
low for a megastar like him.
Yes. I mean, yeah, it's let's look at it this way. It's lower than what Kid Rock could probably charge. On the other hand, you're still paying $25 to go watch Kid Rock. I mean, that's even 1 cent is overpriced.
That's
It depends
$25 you're not spending on meth. It's a win.
Well, what about all those poor meth dealers that are now going to go out of business?
Sure. Now that you're in the Midwest, are you coming across meth more so than before?
I think opiates is more.
Oh yeah,
more the thing.
Which is your favorite?
Percocets, OxyContin. What else have I seen around? And just those two are the big ones that you get asked every once in a while at the mall if you want to buy them. Like
at the mall, they
mall,
sell that at the mall now.
Like someone approaches you
in my
kiosk.
No, in my geriatric age, I have taken to when it's super cold out, negative numbers. I'll do some laps at the mall.
How the fuck is it negative numbers and you're not at the Arctic Circle or something? That is just insanity.
Yeah, it was it felt like negative 14 for like 4 days in a row one time out here. And
we had like a relatively mild winter. I feel like it snowed like 3 days or something.
Oh yeah, we barely got snow, but like the actual cold snaps were ridiculous out here. But yeah, walking around, you'll occasionally get some rando that'll just kind of pass you, as you like kind of by the exits, just like, hey, you need anything? I'm like, what?
You good.
That's a good little intro to know. I know where this
concierge.
conversation's going. Yeah,
I do have to say, although the Midwest is the king of the meth trade, I've seen a lot more tweakers around here lately in New York. A lot more. Like it's noticeable. I don't know if you guys share that experience.
I don't think so.
Tweakers in what sense? I haven't seen necessarily tweakers.
Obvious meth. People obviously high on meth.
I mean, I barely go outside the house, so.
Or suffering the effects of long-term meth use.
I haven't seen meth. I've seen more like people that are on downers, on like opiates, like I assume fentanyl or whatever, or morphine or something like that. Like just kind of lounging in the city, but I haven't seen like an uptick or anything.
I feel like it's noticeable, especially since COVID-19 started.
Yeah,
well, they're probably kicking them out. So yeah, I could understand.
No, I remember we talked about this before when I was still in my apartment in New York, that when they shut down all the hotels around me in Hell's Kitchen and turned them into halfway houses, that was wild. I haven't seen someone outright smoking crack on a stoop like in like 10 years. This is just out in the open kind of thing. Or when I think I saw a dead guy when I walked, because I would walk from my place to the Hudson and then do a couple laps. There was like a park there, like a dog park that took over like one of those like piers. And there was just a dude at like 12th Avenue and 44th, just no shirt, cargo pants, just laying on the ground, Jesus Christ pose, and just like an EMT guy kind of razzing him a little bit.
Jeez.
Cool.
I mean, in the 80s, I used to see just dudes walking down the street in busy parts of Manhattan smoking crack pipes. Like it was out there like that. It would just either take a hit, hey, how you doing? And keep walking. Like it was like nothing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, see, the meth stuff, like where I'm at is a little closer to the city. So feels a little more, kind of cleaned up a little bit. But if you go about a half hour west, like towards like Rockford and shit, where Lonnie's from, like that's where you'll get all that kind of stuff.
So wait, Lonnie's from the meth capital is what you're saying?
Is he
Lonnie's
from
not
Rockford?
from there. His wife is.
Oh,
Right.
his wife's
sorry.
there. Yeah, his
Sorry,
wife's
sorry.
from Rockford. Right.
I went
So,
right
but
into that too.
yeah. So out there is it's kind of a wild west of drug paraphernalia.
So is Rockford
I-
really burned out, or is it like a second tier city, or like what's the deal?
It's now it's a dump. Like it used to be, just like a normal ass city, but it's been really kind of just run down. I don't actually know why, but like we
Ever
always
since
used to go out
Lonnie's
there.
wife left.
Yeah.
What's
Like
Sean?
shit.
What on? So I understand. What on the map of New York? What is Rockford like? What's the equivalent area?
Some a
Even
very
outlying areas too. Whatever.
yeah, very dumpy Long Island, like, like out there. But
like Islip
yeah.
or.
It's tough too because like New York is just so like just jammed together, whereas Chicago it's almost the same size but like 7 times or 14 times the reach, and so everything's kind of more spread out, and so you get where the city and then the burbs where I am, and then you get cornfields, and then suddenly a couple cities like Rockford just pop up out of nowhere. So there's like this cornfield ditch between between the two. So yeah, the access is a little different.
Rob, I want you specifically to
Yes.
read the last comment that was
Yeah,
said
please.
here.
Keep Lonnie's wife's name out your fucking mouth. I want to mention we were talking about meth earlier, and being the most
I think we still are.
drug friendly user of the four of us, I have yet to be offered meth. The only scenario where I have been offered meth, but come close to being in the presence of meth is lately. I've been getting some solicitations on the lovely Grinder app that gentlemen would like to smoke some clouds on my dick.
What does that mean? They put the smoke in and then blow you, or what does that mean?
I guess they take a hit and then as they're exhaling, they're sucking your cock. I have yet to say yes.
Why isn't that just weed?
Clouds is code for meth.
Oh,
I see.
Get with the times, everyone.
Oh, like you're a meth expert. The fuck out of here.
I'm an expert in the lingo.
he's got all this free time now. He might become one. Who knows what Rob's going to do?
I Breaking Bad has sworn me off of meth forever. I'm never even gonna, not even once.
This is such an awful I don't know. What's the appeal?
I mean, you could cook and sell it. There's that
sure.
side.
I mean, like, look, if I want amphetamines, I'm gonna do it the old-fashioned way. Get a prescription.
Mm-hmm.
You're from your fancy doctor.
Get it from my doctor.
From your space
Poop on his
doctor.
touchscreen. Yeah.
Like, it is kind of wild getting legal drugs now consistently, and how similar it is to like dealing with my pot dealer, except it's in a legal setting. I have to message them like, hey, can I get a refill? Or like, hey, when's my refill ready? And it's like it's mind altering substances. It's just ones that happen to be legal.
Yeah, and now I don't have to go to prison when you smoke.
Yeah, it's much better for Darren.
It's true. It's true.
Wait, so where in the Discord is this conversation happening? I'm in an episode discussion. There's not much fucking happening.
What conversation are you referring to?
Like the keep Lonnie's mom's.
Oh no, that's in our StreamYard.
It's a StreamYard.
Oh.
StreamYard
In our stream chat,
the Twitch.
there's a chat on the sidebar.
It aggregates Facebook and YouTube and Twitch comments.
The episode
Live viewers.
discussion on Discord kind of fills up when the show's over, and then people filter in.
Got it.
They don't all watch live, and then they watch it, and then they have something to say, and then we go back and forth.
Sean, if you click on comments,
I stupidly had you full screen so I could see your beautiful faces. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Win-win. Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
So what were you saying about Kid Rock?
Oh yeah.
Kid Rock
45 minutes ago when you brought
Kid Rock is getting cloudy with Kid Rock. No. Kid Rock apparently, so yeah, he's on the road, and he has this very special message from someone we might be familiar with.
Oh boy.
Oh no. This can't be good.
Volume, please.
Ebbe.
Can't hear it.
Did you
Oh,
go?
you can't hear
Can
it?
you zoom out for a second before you look? It says they're quoting him, and it says Rock's politics, like as if that's his last name. Like they go Clinton's politics. Or what's that?
Which writer is that, Rob? Can you retroactively fire them?
I do not have that power anymore.
Damn it.
Well, you don't have to.
Can you send him a sharply worded text?
No. Rock's politics have hardly been a secret.
We have a very special announcement.
It sounds like Phil Anselmo.
President of the United States of America.
About to transpire upon the stage. Kid Rock.
Hello, everyone. I love you all. I know you're having a great time at the Kid Rock concert tonight.
Oh, look at his
He's
face.
amazing.
Did he fall in a
Oh,
pile of
you
manure
would-
like Biff Tannen?
Yeah, I can't tell if this is just like the video quality or his tan
Oh.
is just brutal. Oh, what?
What's going on
Probably
with that
both.
child?
He just watched Trump's video. That's
Yeah, right.
These are the true backbone of our great country. Hardworking, God-fearing, rock and roll patriots. Bob is truly one of the greatest entertainers of our time.
Truly.
Not the best golfer by any means. His golf game could use a little work, but a great, great entertainer, and that's why you're there.
Ah!
Let's all continue
That's why
to
you're there.
love one another,
Ah!
fight for our God-given freedoms, and most of all, let's make America rock again.
Oh boy.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Have a wonderful time tonight. God bless you, and God bless America.
He put on a "Make America Rock Again" shirt.
Is
Ugh.
that-
I mean, a hat.
Really just summarize
I
the
guess-
spirit of rock and roll.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
billionaire.
I
doing
love that he's like,
nationalism.
like, let's love one another unless you're gay, trans, Mexican, Russian. Otherwise, let's all love
Russian?
one another.
Unless they're donors.
Trump doesn't have an issue with Russians, does he?
I don't know. Ukrainians. Who does he have an issue with?
Yeah, Ukrainians.
Maybe
I
you.
don't think Trump gives a shit about any of that stuff. He's
Yeah.
hosting
No,
stupid boxing pay-per-views. Like, he doesn't give a
Yeah.
fuck. He had to give a fuck for 4 years. Barely.
Well, Matt, like, what happened to rock and roll when that's like the big applause moment of a concert? It's like, hey, we got this old 70-year-old politician guy. He's gonna say a couple words.
I mean,
Look
the re-
awesome.
The real answer there, like Trump has somehow convinced people that he's anti-establishment, and that's like a
Yeah.
way of, because he's anti certain elements of the establishment that people hate. So like he's the different guy. So even though he's a billionaire and a racist and all this other shit, he's like the touchstone, the cultural touchstone for people to say fuck you, government. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though he is the stronghold on the government.
Yeah, basically.
Love it. Love to see it.
Is he charging extra for tickets now because he has that Trump video, Rob? Are the tickets still cheap?
I think tickets are still
Wow.
same price. I was meaning to see. Let me go back here because I was thinking, like, what if Kid Rock knew that people like me would go and check the ticket prices, and so he keeps the regular ticket price low, but then when you actually check out, is there like
there's a
crazy
fee.
service fees? Let's see.
See, I thought you were going to say he just lowered them for that one day we did the podcast and then raised them. again.
Oh no, I mean, oh, here we go. Yeah. All right.
Of
But
All
he
right,
doesn't control the service fees, does he?
Yeah, he absolutely does. There was a whole thing on John Oliver about it, how that's how they kind of sneak in more prices. Okay, so yeah, so the tickets are $26.50. So I just did a checkout of 2 tickets, and the total price is $98.98.
Oh wow!
So it's double.
You're still gonna go though, right?
Rob,
Still
don't hit send. Oh fuck, you're going to a Kid Rock show. Sorry.
For research purposes.
So the service fee is $14.35. That's probably where Kid Rock gets his little bit about. By the way, if you don't know what I'm talking about, John Oliver did an incredible piece about Ticketmaster a few weeks ago. You might have to sit through about 3 or 4 minutes of aside jokes that have nothing to do with it, but bear with it because the actual content is good, because he talks about how Ticketmaster essentially is like, they're the middleman, obviously, but they are the willing boogeyman, the willing bad guy that take all the heat for the artists and the venue, because artists secretly want to charge more, but they don't want their fans to be upset with them. So they sneak in the charges through the service fee, and the service fee is typically like the artist can have a lot of control over it. So, for example, here the tickets are $26. Service fees are $14.35. The service fee is essentially a 50% tax here, on top of a $4 venue charge, and then Ticketmaster charging a $7 processing fee. So, Kid Rock, it's all a gimmick. We're on to you, baby.
Then let me ask, like Rage Against the Machine, you got tickets to their MSG show that were crazy expensive. What was the service fee before and after for those?
Let's see.
Like, how much did did a
I got mine
band
too.
like Rage rack up?
Hold on, I have to cancel my order.
Oh no.
Ooh.
You're gonna get all these targeted Kid Rock emails now.
Oh, yeah, like, hey,
You left something in your cart, pal.
You forgot your Kid Rock tickets, buddy.
It says the ticket was $125 and the fees were $20. Grand total $145.
I guess that's not as bad. You got Rage Against the Machine tickets too, Sean?
The fees for the Rage Against
in August.
I want to just point out the fees for floor tickets for Rage Against the Machine are less than the fees for nosebleed tickets for a Kid Rock concert.
Wow.
Which shows that Kid Rock is pocketing some of that money, whereas Rage Against the Machine, they put all of their money, like they put it all in the ticket price, essentially.
Which day do you have a ticket for?
It is Monday, August 8th.
Ooh, I got Tuesday. So I'll be coming out for that. We all should get together when I'm out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Rob, will you do me a favor? When you go to the Kid Rock show, take video when Tommy Lahren comes out in a bikini and does a new verse of Bar with a Bar about Don't Say Gay and Disney boycotts. Will you do that?
I might have to go if that's happening.
You mentioned the Don't Say Gay thing. I want to talk about that for a second.
Oh yeah, you're famous on the internet now, Rob.
Just because he's gay, you mean? Or what do you mean?
Rob's fame has exploded in the last 24 hours.
It hasn't exploded. I just a tweet that I posted went viral. It doesn't mean anything. But before we do that, so in Florida, they passed what is being labeled the Don't Say Gay bill. That's obviously not the official title of it. It's the Parental Rights and Education Bill, and essentially it prevents kindergartners to third grade to discuss sexuality or gender. And they leave it purposely vague because what they're really saying is they don't want you to talk about gay and trans shit. And like the insane right-wing kind of talking point is that, like, if you are for that, then you're trying to groom kids, which is not what that means.
Right.
But anyway, I feel like when stuff like this happens, a certain section of liberals kind of like go crazy, like not like go crazy, but they like act out in such a way that makes them look like the fools. And here's what I'm talking
They
about.
don't respond with a good argument.
Yes. So this law has passed, and now the city of New York, York City, has taken out a billboard that is being displayed in various parts of Florida. And here's the billboard. One side of it, now for our audio listeners, it's just in all different colors of the rainbow, in different sizes of fonts, in a rounded font, copper plate rounded. It says gay, gay, gay. That's the font. It says gay, gay. It says gay in like 100 different colors and sizes. And
I thought that was Cooper Black, that font.
Oh, Cooper Black? What did I
think
say?
so. You said
Cooper
copper
Black is the
plate
name of
round.
Rob's favorite adult film star.
Deep
You're
inside
right.
Cooper Black.
It's Cooper Black. Oh, I was thinking vag rounded. Okay. And then so
It looks like a goatsy.
It says gay, gay, gay. You're right. And then there's a little butthole in the middle of the gay wording, and it says, "Come to the city where you can say whatever you want, except maybe F the police. You can't say that because then you're gonna get beat
Come
up.
to the city where we drone surveil you if you're homeless and sleep on a park bench, gay and straight equally."
Yeah, and
Listen,
then
the
other
light
side
from
of the
that
billboard-
drone keeps them warm in wintertime, Darren. Don't knock it.
All right, I didn't see that side of it. You're right.
The other side of the billboard says people say a lot of ridiculous things in New York. Quote, "Don't say gay isn't one of them." Well, first of all, no one is saying don't say gay. Like that's something the liberals came up with, just to be clear. Like Ron DeSantis is not saying don't say gay.
Don't say this thing we made up.
Secondly, this is the dumbest fucking, like this is the peak liberal activism. Like who is this convincing? Who does this make feel safe? You know, like who would, I just imagine like Republicans, they do stupid shit, but then they'll do something like this just to kind of bait dumb liberals into being even stupider so that they can be like, look, see, we want to protect our children. And now look at what they're doing. You know, like they're going to point to this and be like, look at these people. They're trying to make your kids gay, you know, and it's completely like the losers here are gay children in Florida.
Right.
Gay children in Florida aren't going to see this and be like, oh, I'm going to go to New York. They can't go to fucking New York. They're 8.
I couldn't agree more with you, but if I could even add to that, I would say Republicans' thing is doing culture war bullshit to distract from all the evil shit that they're doing, right? Destroying people's lives. So if you respond by going, no, that culture war thing is wrong, then you're doing exactly what they want you to do.
Yeah,
Exactly,
you're giving
100%.
into the bait. Yeah, and then it just becomes like I see this now on Fox. It's now the trans debate. There's no debate. Like trans people deserve rights. There shouldn't be a debate. But don't be cornered into a debate with people that are taking objectively wrong perspectives.
Dismiss them quickly, laugh at them, and pivot the conversation to things that are actually wrong. Like if the Republican says trans people shouldn't have rights, and they couch it in something that sounds good, that wholesome family values or whatever, you say, no, you're a ridiculous bigot. Anyway, people are starving. We're about to do World War III. Like, can we focus on that, please? You're a moron. Like, that's the proper response.
States and cities are passing laws that are hurting these people, so you can't just ignore the conversation. Happening.
I'm 100% talking about how to handle this rhetorically. Like when you're on a Fox News or you're on a CNN, or you encounter one of these people in the wild, if you're just a civilian, you know, that's how you answer these people. It's not entertaining what they're saying. Like this billboard is the exact opposite. This is entertaining what they're saying, trying to rebut it.
It's validating it.
Yes, you're giving it credibility.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what got me so frustrated by this. And also, does New York City have nothing else to spend its money on than billboards in
Apparently
Florida?
This wasn't like out of the budget. I heard something. I don't remember exactly where the money came from, but they said it did not cost anything from the budget to do this.
It costs money though, and that money could have actually gone to maybe help the gay kids in fucking Florida, as opposed to do this fucking posturing that helps nobody. You know, open a fucking LGBT youth center with that money in Florida. Let's go.
Exactly.
In Florida, New York's going to open an LGBT center in Florida.
Sure. I guess that's fucking illegal now if the kid is of a certain age.
I'm all for the gay state wars of 2022.
No.
Well, so, and this goes into, I mean, this week has been really, really bad for the rights of women, gays, and trans people across the country. And I am genuinely, like, no joking aside, like furious.
All joking aside.
All joking aside, sorry. No joking aside. Let's joke about this. I'm
that
furious.
That should be the new show title. No joking aside. With
I like that. That's a new show name. Yeah. But anyway, so 3 things happened in the last 2 days that, like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And I posted this last night at almost 1 a.m. And The tweets are popping. Hold on one sec. And
All you ladies pop your tweets like this.
What?
Tweet it. Tweet it now. Tweet it good. No? Nothing? All right. Never mind.
Unfamiliar.
Thank you.
Sorry, what the fuck is going? So the first thing, a woman in Texas has been arrested and charged with murder for having an abortion. It's finally happened, which I'm like, this blows my mind. This is
this real? What link is that? That because that sounds crazy to me. So what is this?
I'll look
looks
it up.
like a fake link. I'm hoping it's a fake link.
No, it's just a local news station. What is it? My RGB. No, it's the local news station.
Damn.
Woman arrested in Starr County for illegal abortion. A woman was arrested Thursday and charged with murder for having self-induced illegal abortion. A self-induced, Jesus. Charge of murder. Blah, 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 blah. So it's happening. And then even more grossly, a school district
Even
near
more
Dallas.
grossly?
Yes!
That a woman being charged with murder?
Yes! A school district near Dallas, Texas, ripped down LGBTQ ally symbols, functionally shut down a student newspaper, barred faculty from being a part of gay-straight alliance meetings, and now plans to terminate an openly gay teacher. And this story is fucking insane. They brought in gay students into the principal's office to be like, what are you talking about during your gay-straight alliance talk? What is going on there?
But did they charge them with murder, Robert?
No.
Are they currently
No,
in prison?
No,
Not
they
yet.
traumatized them for life. So there's that.
But the
And-
suicide rates among those kids are so high, that might not be that much longer for them.
Oh, wow.
But in fairness, none of them killed the fetus, Rob. You got to say that.
It's true. Do we know if the woman successfully killed the fetus? Imagine that. Adding insult to injury, the baby didn't even die and she's locked up now.
It sounds
The
like
baby gets to have the freedom that she no longer will.
it sounds like
Cruelest fucking irony.
an Apple TV series. A zombie fetus comes back.
Directed by Ben Stiller. Sign me up.
Listen,
And then sorry, go ahead.
good. No, it's all right.
And then the third one is brutal. A dark day for trans people. Alabama passes SB 184, which forcibly medically detransitions all trans teens. It will withdraw youth from gender affirming care. It will force trans teens through the wrong puberty in front of all of their peers. Absolutely disgusting.
All right, this one might be worse than the first one.
Yes, and I want to mention for those of you who might be pro-trans but on the fence about kids transitioning, because I understand it is a hot button issue, and I can understand from a logical point of view why someone might feel that, oh, perhaps a child might not be of the full knowledge to make such a big decision, which I think is a reasonable point of view to have. But I am not the most educated on the subject, but from what I've seen from advocates of transitioning as a child, is that most kids who transition, the high majority, stay transitioned and keep the gender. And the thing is, if you take puberty blockers as a child, if you do decide that, it turns out I don't want to transition, I was just confused, blah, blah, blah. You could stop taking the puberty blockers and you will have puberty just as you would no matter what. However, it is much more difficult after you've gone through the process of puberty to reverse the puberty. And then it essentially scars the person because they're not allowed to live their true selves. And so I don't think that's worth it.
I would also add, if in some really rare case where the person does transition and then they decide, like you said, that they can't reverse this, they'll just be a miserable human being like the rest of us. So it's worth a try, right? Worth a try to not be miserable.
And like I used to sort of be on that side of the fence of like, oh, they're too young to make that decision, blah blah blah. What if they change their mind? But like, I still haven't seen a single account of them changing their mind. And I feel like if those people were out there, Fox News would have them on primetime every fucking night as like, see, these are the horrors. This is the regret that these people, but where are they? So I don't think it's really that much of a thing.
And even the trans athletes, I think that whole thing, that's just another culture war distraction, because newsflash, most trans athletes are terrible. Most
But
trans
also,
athletes,
even if they were great, why do I give a fuck who wins a high school relay race? Whatever. It's completely
cares?
inconsequential. Let everybody run. Let grandma run. Whoever, whatever.
And really, really think about what they're saying. This person is so competitive, yet so shitty in the men's division that they're willing to change their body chemistry just to win a race.
No,
What the fuck?
That's
are
how
you
bad they
talking
want
about?
that silver medal.
Yeah, in an inconsequential fucking thing.
they're changing their whole life just to get a high school award.
It's like, if you truly feel that it is unfair, which again, of bigoted debates, of bigoted arguments, that like I can sympathize with this viewpoint. Maybe empathize. I don't know which one I would use, but I could see how a logical person who might be for trans rights might feel, oh, this might be going too far. But if you really stop and think about it, it's all stupid. Like, why do we, like we've talked about it, why do we even have gendered sports? Why not have like weight-based sports or skill level
Ability-based
leagues?
sports.
Yes,
Exactly.
yeah.
Right.
Like why should it be divided by gender? Or if you're so fixated on having it by gender, have a trans division.
But then what if there's only one trans kid that's playing that sport in the whole state? Then
That's fair.
Get them plane tickets.
now we got to ship them off. Maybe we should make a whole separate state just for them. They could have Montana.
How
Is
about
that what you want?
forced transitioning to fill up the division?
Sorry, Timmy. We need somebody to compete with Rebecca. So
Take these fucking puberty blockers. We're taking the gold home.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you rank between after 15, that's it. You got to transition and join the T League.
Well, I mean, wasn't that
that's
the
like
plot?
relegation.
Yeah.
Plot of
God
Ladybugs?
I'm sorry.
Wait,
I don't want to. I hope we're not coming off insensitive.
It's
towards
getting
trans
hot in
people.
here. I think we're
just
coming
trying
off
to have some
insensitive to cis people right now.
Yeah.
But I do want to say I'm more fascinated by how obsessed people are with other people's decisions. Because, like, looking at the Ezra Miller stories, you know, that are coming out, how he's a piece of shit and doing all this stuff in Hawaii, getting arrested and whatnot. Instead, in the comments on Reddit, are talking about the things that he's doing. They're more focused on why they're using they, them pronouns in the story. You know, almost 80% is arguing about it's a he. Why are they using they? You know, like, not the gross, terrible things this guy is doing, what he's being called on, the cops are being called for. They just can't get over that they in the article.
People are so it's the people that are so quick to call other snowflakes that can't won't dare use these kind of gendered
I
pronouns.
do understand though, like, I'll use your proper pronouns if you're a good person, but if you're a piece of shit, then I'm not going to give you the time to use. So I understand, like, if he's an ass, I have no idea who he. I barely know who he is, and I don't know what he did.
Ezra Miller is Daredevil in the Justice League.
Never seen it. No
Flash,
idea.
man, it's Flash.
Oh, Flash.
See,
sorry.
you don't even know either, Rob.
Yeah,
but
the
like,
same.
if
Daredevil's
Ezra
Marvel.
Miller is a piece of shit, then I'm gonna call him and whatever, fuck him. But if you're a good person, then sure, I can understand that. But to make that the whole debate, but also, Sean, why are you spending time on Reddit reading Ezra Miller posts and comments? Like, what? Are you okay?
I want to know if they're pulling the Flash movie or not. Are they canceling him and recasting? What's going on?
Has Ezra Miller been in anything I've seen?
He's the guy that Barry's wife.
No, Rob. Come on.
Oh, they're the guy that Barry says.
They're the
person. They're the person that Barry says that Barry's wife says Barry looks like.
Okay, but that's a real life person.
What else?
But have
what
I
else
seen
has
any?
they been in? The Perks of Being a Wallflower.
Nope.
Those Fantastic Beasts movies.
Nope.
Trainwreck. He was in. They were in Trainwreck.
What were they in Trainwreck?
I don't know.
I saw that.
He was in.
Was that who played LeBron? This is a good actor.
Right.
Ezra Miller played Donald. I don't know what.
Oh, Donald.
The classic
All right.
role of
Anyway,
Donald. That's Star Turn as Donald.
So just back to my tweet for a second. So I went viral, not to brag, but I'm not bragging because it's annoying. I muted it.
Oh,
I muted it
brag.
once
Yeah.
I got to like because it makes Twitter unusable because you're constantly getting notifications, and I think it's like something useful, but it's just whatever. So I muted it at like I don't know 200 retweets, 500 likes, and then when I looked back at it, that's when I sent it to you guys. It was like at 1,000 retweets, 10,000 likes, and that was an hour ago. And now it is at 5,000 retweets, 30,000 likes. I guess it's like 6,000 with the quote tweets.
wow.
And it's pretty wild because then when you start looking at the quote tweets, it's gotten to right wingers. And like, while there's some that okay, see now it's hit such a point where all the right wingers are drowned out. But there was one that I interacted with for a moment.
Oh,
Well,
boy.
actually, before you read that, I like that the tweet right after that is I am so manly, even my balls have balls. Oh shit, I think those are tumors.
Yeah. This is my favorite account, Scullerhood. He creates original shitty photoshops that look like they're from the 2000s.
Wait,
and they're fucking amazing.
Did he do this first, or is it the pack? On Reddit, there's a whole thing that's just exactly like this. I think it's the Pack or Wolf. Let's see.
Oh, I don't know. If you misgender my trans friend, I will personally escort you to the gates of hell. It's great stuff. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Where's my tweets and replies? So this guy tweeted common sense making a comeback, quote tweeting my thing. And I look at his profile and he has "Don't tread on me" as his fucking as his cover photo. And of course I have to mention that LOL says the guy with "Don't tread on me" in his Twitter cover photo. So you're telling me, he responds, you don't understand basic American history or constitutional rights by this ignorant comment? Please read a book.
Which book?
Maybe
Sounder?
Mein Kampf.
Yeah.
I respond, no, I'm saying the guy who believes "Don't tread on me" is celebrating the government treading on its citizens. He responds, you confuse constitutional law with made-up rights.
Oh, boy.
You know what I always wonder about the people with the snake photo with the "Don't tread on me" is like they're also the same people who are like crazy pro-cop. Like, who do you think is doing the treading?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Who's coming to tread on you, you fucking dumb fuck?
Yeah.
But they're only pro-cop until the cops, shut down their militia or try to stop them from breaking into Congress.
Those are the
Then
bad
they're not
apples.
pro-cop anymore. Yeah.
There was a viral photo on Reddit of a police officer that had a "Don't tread on me" like, thing. And then there's the comment was like, "You're the fucking boots doing the treading.
You're the treader. You're the super treader. The super treader event."
And like with this whole Texas thing, if they really care about these dead babies, shouldn't masturbation be illegal? Aren't you killing hundreds of potential babies when you're masturbating?
No, because guys do that.
Yeah. Like
if I would be devil's advocate, I would say that the people who believe this say that life starts at conception. So your sperm would not be viable babies, but the fetus at any point after conception would be a living thing, which I think is ridiculous and scientifically not proven, or disproven, I should say. But that's what they think.
Okay, fair.
I want to say something on the abortion thing. There used to be a video online, like ages old, like the early days of YouTube. This is how old this is. Like 15 years ago, a guy went to an abortion rally and he asked the people very calmly, like he wasn't confrontational or anything, and he just
anti-abortion rally.
Yeah, anti-abortion rally. And he says, and they weren't happy to do it. It's like, we want more abortions.
Everyone, abortions for everyone. I'm getting aborted. You're getting aborted. Sorry.
Forced abortion now. He asked them like, are you against abortion? Everyone said they were all nice people, misled or wrong ideas, but they weren't like zealous assholes. They really thought babies were being murdered and they're out to protest it. So that's a niche of people I understand, even though they're wrong, right? And he said to them, like, what you're against abortion? Yes. Why? I think it's killing babies. And they go, do you support the death penalty for a woman who has an abortion? And they were all stumped. Like none of that. One of them, they all said no.
Because they all knew what they wanted to say, but then like,
I think. Well, I think that's today. I think that's today. I think we crossed some kind of Rubicon somewhere. Like now they're just saying yes, she should be in jail. Fuck her. But I think back then,
fucking her is what got her into this predicament in the first place.
I think there was some humanity there 15 years ago where it was like, yeah, I haven't thought this through. And now that I think it through, you see that a lot of these people doing the struggle. Like, yeah, I kind of see why I kind of see why that doesn't make sense. I'm going to have to think about it more. And somewhere in the past 15 years, it's just like, no, put her in jail. Put her the fucking
kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, we've talked about this before. We don't have to like really get into it. And it just bothers me that they force the woman to have the child because the child shouldn't be murdered. The child deserves life. But then they refuse to vote for or allow funding for any sort of government services to actually help the child have a fruitful life. Like that's suddenly on the woman now. It's like once the baby is born, conservatives could give a shit about it.
Yeah. Do you guys watch any of the Good Liars content? It's two guys will go to like conservative rallies and stuff and interview people just kind of to show how or hypocritical they are and whatnot. And they went to one that was the anti-abortion rally, and it was this gang of women that were like really pushing adoption signage and whatnot. And they interviewed every single one of the women. None of them have ever adopted in their life. But they're out there. They're out there telling people, put them up for adoption, and you should adopt babies. It's crazy.
You'd think they would just lie. Like it's easy enough to just lie to like a random guy with a camera. It's like, yeah, I adopted 3 of them. What? It's like, all right. But
they also just recently I caught some woman at a rally talking about how she'd rather have Putin as our president than Biden, and they had a lengthy discussion with her, and that was pretty bonkers.
Darren, you're muted.
I was gonna say it's a tie.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough political talk for now.
Mm-hmm.
But
but during that whole thing, Dusty Rose Muffler said, "Why you killed the baby?" Not Daniel.
So many reasons.
I'm not going to read that other one because Rob will get mad.
Thanks. You don't even have to mention that you're not going to read it. You can just move on.
I can read it. You want me to read it?
But I want to talk about the music break, actually.
Just being nice to Dusty.
Can we talk about the Axe drummer story before we go?
Oh, sure.
It's a fun one.
A dude with an axe attacks drummer practicing in the park. Who amongst us?
What?
And somehow I don't think it was Douglas Levison.
All right. Here we go.
A California drummer says a man with an axe really didn't.
I want to point out that this guy, is he in a La Parka mask? No.
I mean, maybe.
Drummer says a man with an axe really didn't want to hear him play. Andy Torres set up his GoPro to record a jam session in the park. The musician says he was practicing with his portable drum kit around 7 a.m. Saturday morning when an axe-wielding man entered the scene.
I mean,
already. He didn't announce himself. He didn't say get out.
It was 7 a.m. I counted.
Yeah, it's too early to fucking drumming.
Out of the way. Or you making the noise? No, he knew what he was going to do. I happened to just get out of the way.
Torres told KCBS the unknown assailant allegedly threatened him with a gun, but that is not shown on camera. Andy did tell the man he was being recorded and even caught his license plate as the man and his axe drove away. This attack has left its mark on Torres' mental health.
I get stuck.
The man and his axe drove away in 2 separate cars. The axe got in its Toyota Camry.
Good to know he didn't stay at the scene.
So this guy lives far enough away that he had to drive to the park to chop the drum kit up with an axe? I have so many more questions. Like if he just lived across the street and he walked over in a fit of rage, I understand. But like what is was he there and he was mad, so he drove home, got his axe and drove back? Like, how does this
maybe.
work?
Or does he always just have an axe just in case?
Just in the car, just in the trunk, just in case somebody pisses him off.
Yeah, my
I guess
dad
there's a
always
lot of
had
road
like
rage in LA. So
my dad always had a small wooden bat like on the floor of the back seat of the car that he would take out and shake it. And he got road rage.
what are you gonna do with that when you're driving?
It's more of like a visual threat. And then put it back.
Little hatchet.
Yeah.
I always said if you want to be a successful drummer, you have to have a good axe man, you know.
Nice.
Do we think this may be a staged social media event?
I get stuck thinking about that, and I have to pull myself out of it. I know I will move ahead because look, I'm still here.
Before the attack, Torres said no one ever complained to him about the noise. A report has been filed, and this video has been turned over to the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. This is Inside Edition Digital.
I guess it's probably not staged because the dude who did it wasn't wearing a mask, so you could see his face. Like, why would he put himself at risk for legal repercussions?
Yeah, but that whole "I will persevere" bullshit at the end makes it feel like it's this, kind of I'm doing this for me.
Does he have like a Kickstarter now for a better drum kit or something like that?
So I wouldn't doubt it.
Drum starter.
Guys, I didn't mention this in the show prep, but I actually got a scoop. I got some live audio of the assailant. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Here it is.
You really had time to go practice and to get yourself a gig. Everybody down here.
Wow, that's tough, wild stuff, guys. Disturbing.
This guy needs to get with the guy that Douglas Levison yelled at, and they could start a band. Just a band of street musicians that have gotten scolded or attacked.
And to be fair, the trumpet guy, I mean, I won't say he deserved the scathing attack that Douglas provided, but he was, I agree with, it's like a Mark B situation. I agree with what he's saying. The delivery was a bit cringe.
Yeah. Imagine the axe guy came at the trumpet guy.
Wow.
You gotta have some good aim with that axe, or else you're in jail with that Texas abortion lady all of a sudden.
Right. And then that trumpet guy looked kind of flabby. Like, I don't think he was getting away.
No.
He barely evaded Douglas Levison, who's like 4'7" and hunched over.
Well, he was amused. I feel like he was sort of amused by Douglas and just the sight of him. So he was sticking around just to see what happened.
I think it's like one of those things where if a person stares at you long enough, they look innocuous, but they suddenly become psycho at some point. I feel like that probably happened to that guy with Douglas. Like, look at this weirdo. What the fucking, laugh him off. And then after a while, it's like, okay, I need to move. I need to go away now. You know what it reminds me of? That guy in the bagel store. Remember we did that story about the guy who went off on a rant in a bagel
Yes.
store?
Oh yeah, the bagel boy.
Like
Bagel
they were all just kind of laughing at him, and then it suddenly, like, he just and nothing really changed. It crossed some kind of point of no return, and then he became like a psychopath.
Yeah. And that guy, didn't he like try to get like a career going off of that viral sensation? Rob, you should do that now off of your tweet.
Wow, you really understand how Twitter works, don't you?
Hey, it worked for the shit my dad says guy.
I bet if we look that guy up right now, he's got about 47 tweets about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
And he probably also has a Cameo page. You could order a Cameo from the Bagel Boss guy. I bet he does.
Hey, Rob, Kevin, I heard it was your birthday. Hey, it's the Bagel Boss guy. How you doing? Hey, let me yell at you.
Rob, are you on Cameo yet?
I am not on Cameo, no.
I'd buy one.
He is. By the way, yes, the Bagel Boss guy is on Cameo, though he is not taking any requests at this moment.
Sad. Which means he probably stopped getting requests.
Can you play some he has in the can there?
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, you got it, Rob?
Yeah. Give me a moment.
Hey, what do you like? Sesame or a poppy? Hey, happy birthday, Freddie.
Can you hear it?
No, it's me. Okay.
You know what? This is Chris, the Bagel Boss Morgan here on Cameo.
You can't hear
it.
I can hear it.
The fucking motion picture ass.
What? He was beating up a tree.
Hi, Justin. Happy birthday.
So he's not even the Bagel Boss guy. He's Chris, the Bagel Boss Morgan. Like, he just co-opted the name of the store.
Yeah.
Through a fit.
Yeah.
out and get a fucking life, loser.
You know what this looks like? I don't even have to hear what he's saying. What just his mannerisms remind me of like kids who watch too much wrestling and think they could cut wrestling promos. And they sound like really ridiculous.
Like those guys we saw that on YouTube that were doing wrestling events at Parks in Williamsburg.
Yes, exactly.
But I did like that in the last one, he was recording it while taking a dump in a public bathroom.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
He looks
Right.
like the Pete Best of Anthrax. He's like the guy that got cut in 1981 or something.
It's insane that he's
Scotty and
so
shitty
short
cousin.
that his head barely fits on the headrest. Like it's just
Oh man, when his profile looks even like he sort of looks normal straight on, and then when he turns his head, it's really
He's got
smushed looking.
severe light bulb skullitis. There you go. He's a guy that should not have his head shaved. I'm sorry. I shave my head, but I have a fairly decent looking skull, I would say.
Yeah, this is no, it's like a lunchbox.
all right. Let's talk about our Spotify playlist. Every week we pick a song, throw it on there. We call it the RIP Livecast Music Break. Head on over to Spotify, do a little searchy search, and you can find it. And my pick is from a lovely jazz musician named John McCaslin. McCaslin. And it's the title track off Reckoning. It's like a very heavy jazz tune that I've been digging. The jazz. So I think you should check it out. That's my pick. Darren, what did you pick?
Darren, you muted.
Sorry, I played Straight Up Menace by MC8.
Mm.
That was on the GTA soundtrack. One of those. I got them mixed up which is which, but big fan of that era. And yeah, Anna's playing some GTA recently because it was mentioned in our Discord, to plug the Discord again. Mentioned derisively, but that still made me want to go play it.
Mentioned derisively how? What do you mean?
I don't know who was saying it, but just that it's like I have to go back and look at it. But yeah, it was just something negative about GTA was in there recently. It's not. I feel like we got some real, not to take away from it, but we have some real hardcore gaming fans in there, and it's like GTA sort of mainstream basic bitch game, I would say. So like, but I still love it. I still love it, but I understand why a hardcore gamer would not be turned on by GTA.
My roommate played it for 4 hours last night after the Bulls game ended. I couldn't believe it.
Is there a
the
new
Bulls
one?
win? I think he turned it off. So they must have lost. They've lost like the last 3 games.
Yeah, they've been tanking a little bit
so
this season.
So I'm like, yeah, I'll pass on watching this one.
To answer Rob, no, there's not a new one. The last one came out 9 years ago. This month.
Okay.
Maybe next year. Maybe.
There's no confirmation of it.
They're working on
Wait,
it.
but they've been releasing like story packs, though, right?
Oh yeah, they just keep piling on the online version of GTA 5.
Yeah, I thought they were working on something that would be like a 15-year long kind of story pack thing.
I mean, if it was coming out next year, you would have seen a teaser by now, I would think.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
But also by the time this shit comes out, they better have like a fucking USA sized map that you can just go to every different city, which would be great. But I don't think they're gonna do that. People are saying they might go to fucking like Miami again or New York again. I would like to see.
I just wish they'd re-release the New York one so I could get it for PS5. It's not available.
Aren't they doing that?
Are they?
I saw something that they're remastering them. Yeah.
Fucking finally, I've been waiting. Give me something to work with. Jesus.
Now, when you say remastering, because I'm kind of like a noob at like newer era gaming consoles and shit. Like, is it like the game
It's
is
the same game? Yeah,
but
it's just the graphics are a little better.
They're a little better, right? They're not like 2022 level graphics.
No,
I mean maybe the rendering is slightly better because the rendering engine, but yeah, it's basically the same game.
Yeah, they smoothed some polygons is what they did.
Yeah.
But like the chat says, I would like to play GTA Rockford, Illinois.
Sid, what was your pick?
I've seen some tweets lately about how the 20th anniversary of the first Mars Volta album is upon us. And that made me think Oh, well, I guess that it must be also almost the 20th anniversary of the first Sparta album, which is the At the Drive-In side band that I liked more than Mars Volta. And sure enough, in August it will be 20 years. So I picked a song from the first Sparta album, "Cut Your Ribbon." Great album, great.
And Sean, what was your pick?
I picked a track from the band called The Armed that are out of Michigan, and I really like them because they're the one currently, I think, really doing that aggressive, chaotic noise very well. But I also like them because it's not so much a band as more of a collective that has like people kind of coming in and helping out or just playing on live, and maybe not like they randomly. I think they just played a show and had that Troy Van Leeuwen, the guy from A Perfect Circle, and some others, and I think he was on some Queens of the Stone Age stuff. Like he just sort of played with them for a bit, and yeah, it's just kind of this fluid collective. I think maybe like 2 or 3 of the people are like mainstays, but yeah, it's amazing. The stuff they're putting out is absolutely incredible.
Fancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're great live. Have you seen them live,
Yep.
Sean?
Mm-hmm. Only once. And it was a hell of a show. There was a guy in the crowd in a ghillie suit, like full out, like man plant, like kind of,
What's a ghillie suit? Is that
those? It's what the snipers wear. They look like a giant plant. You know what I mean?
Oh
Where it's
God,
like,
I thought you were talking
Oh,
about the Kristen Wiig character from SNL. It's like
no,
that's just a dude in drag.
I just thought it was some sexual shit.
no.
I mean, probably at the end of the night, probably it is.
Like full on intensive camouflage outfit.
And this was in the audience or on stage?
He was doing both.
Interesting. All right.
It was nuts.
It's like their boss tone.
Yeah, yeah.
Dances in the
Or
plaid suit.
who's the dude from A Veil?
Oh, Bobo.
Yeah, that guy's wild.
Is there Bobo?
Mm-hmm.
I miss Bobo.
Did he quit or they kick him out?
No, he's still there. I mean, they just don't do as much stuff anymore, so I don't see him as much.
True. That's true.
I just mean me personally. I miss him.
I
have to
miss
be a
you.
bigger thing. Not everything has to be a viral sensation like Rob. It could just be about me for me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also sort of my philosophy on the show.
Yeah. What were you gonna say, Rob?
I was going to plug our Patreon, but I'd let you guys finish. Are you done? Are you done?
Yeah, we're done.
I want to mention, if you want to get yourself a little more Metal Injection Livecast, you can do so on our Patreon, or the RAPL Livecast. That's right. You can do so on our Patreon, patreon.com/RAPL Livecast. $5 a month gets you 2 bonus episodes a month, and they are very fun. And you also get access to all of our archives of bonus episodes. We have about 2 years worth now. So tons of great stuff to listen to if you want yourself more Livecast, and you help support the show. That's always nice. Our last bonus episode was the Livecast Meme Hall of Fame episode 6. Great episode. We talked about Mindy Meyer. We talked about I Miss the Old New York. And we talked about Patty. And then previous episodes include a watch-along of the awful movie Tiptoes, where Gary Oldman plays a dwarf by acting on his knees the whole time. We also have a watch-along of Decline of Western Civilization Part 1, a watch-along of Money Plane, which stars Kelsey Grammer, all 3 Lawrence brothers, including Joey, and Adam Edge Copeland. A terrible movie. That was a very fun watch. We watched some episodes of the Judge Steve Harvey Show. You might have to watch a few more now that there's some wrestlers on there. And other episodes include a watch along of The Fanatic, the Fred Durst directed movie starring John Travolta. Again, awful, but hilarious. We did a roundtable discussion on all 4 Matrix movies. We have plenty other Livecast Meme Hall of Fame episodes. Tons of stuff in the archives. Patreon.com/RAPL Livecast. That's the $5 a month tier. For $10 a month, you get everything in the $5 tier, plus you get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now. How should we do these shout outs, folks?
Let's see.
Sean, do you want to do the shout outs?
Oh.
I do not.
Give Rob a suggestion of a voice to do for the shout outs.
I want to hear 3D do Dave Mustaine shout outs.
Oh,
nice. And he left. What happened?
Wow.
Fuck
Wow.
that. Fuck
All right.
that.
Message received. I could do it as Darren.
Yeah, do a very Yiddish shout out.
Very Yiddish.
Do it as Yiddish Dave Mustaine.
Oh, even better. Even better.
Here's Darren. We got Darren. He's back. He could do it.
Bounced. Yiddish Dave Mustaine. I was actually going to suggest doing it as Sean, but I like that idea. All right. Eric. It doesn't sound like a very Jewish name. Gesundheit. Benjamin. Now that's one I might hear in Yisroel. El Deuterino. Danar. Sam I am. I'm sure you kissed a mezuzah on the way into the Livecast. Mashiach bless you. Mindy Mayer's Keeper, that's one I can get behind. Gender, think I heard that name in Deuteronomy. Jesser, Shasusitz. Cattle Decaf, Dallas. Bunch of golems, if you ask me.
Oh, my
Worse than a
goodness.
fucking Dewclaw. Robert Vampiro, that's what they call us Jews, like we suck blood out of little babies. Not cool! Hugo likes tacos. I prefer Manischewitz, matzah, and stuff like that, but that's fine. You're ethnic. No big deal. Lando, thanks. LaCroix, Corey, and Sadi H. I'm going to read you a little bit of my Haftorah, because that's what H stands for. Baruch atah Adonai. Eloheinu melech ha'olam. Doug Pigman, no! Get out of here with that pig, man! Douglas, who are you, Levison? And hey, guys, it's Josh. That's the Patreon fans of the week.
Very well done.
Good job.
Thank you, Darren. Thank you to our listeners. We will be back. In 2 weeks. We're not going to be here next week. I'm going to be out of town. I'm going to Amsterdam. I'm very excited about it. So for our audio listeners, we're going to be doing an unlock of one of our Patreon bonus episodes from the past. A really fun episode we did. We did a movie draft with Sean. I believe you were a part of it, actually.
Yep.
And so it was the four of us, and Noah was there as well. And we did a draft where each of us cast our version of Metal Injection or RIP Livecast, the movie at the time, Metal Injection Livecast, the movie. And we each picked an actor to play each of our roles, and then we all came up with a plot for the movie. And
We picked
it was a
directors and genres.
a really fun episode.
Right.
Yeah. So if you haven't subscribed to the Patreon, it's a nice little preview. And you can hear that next week. Abha asks, you coming to London, Rob? No. Just Amsterdam this time. So tune in next week. We'll be back in 2 weeks live. Hopefully you can join us. We love you. We kiss you. And we say goodbye.
So good to see you guys.